Covers that the Little Rock Touchdown Club got with Coach Gruden's appearance. Wow. And I'll tell you, I don't like social media, and Coach Gruden got beat up. The majority of it got beat up. But for those of you that were here, I thought we saw a guy that was sincere, genuine. He had a great time, a great experience, and he just wanted to say thank you for the hospitality that our club showed. But that's what I'm talking about, is getting people like John Gruden and Kirk Herbstreit and Ed Orgeron, and when they come, they enjoy it. They go, man, even Coach O, it's been 2014 was the last time you were here. You're like, man, this club is booming. But anyway, so I thought it was great. Coach O is going to be great today. And if we could, speaking about blessings, before we bring up Randy Allison, Gary Underwood is out today, so Randy Allison is going to give our prayer. But Rex, come up and tell real briefly a story about a sad story that happened this weekend and with the OBU family.
Thanks, David. As you know, we support college football at all levels. And we lost a member of our college football family this weekend. Clark Yarborough was a senior all-conference defensive end from Rockwall, Texas for Ouachita. Clark was a true team leader. I'm going to quote Ricky Rogers, who once played football at Ouachita and is the vice president there of the school. Clark was an exemplary student academically, athletically, spiritually. He held strongly to his Christian faith, and it was evident in the way he lived his life and led his fellow students, close quote. You know, David's been nice enough to play some of my Ouachita clips through the years, and one of my trademarks on a Ouachita touchdown is "to the promised land." Clark was a believer, and on this day, I have no doubt he has seen the true promised land. So will you join me in just a quick moment of silence for Clark's family, his friends, and his teammates? Thank you. Thank you. Now Randy will pray.
Randy, come on up. Randy is a veteran insurance man, been around the insurance business for decades, and also leads the music at Pinnacle Church of Christ. He's one of our best members. Gary Underwood couldn't be here. Randy, will you please come up and give us our prayer today?
Let's bow together. Good morning, Father. Thank you for this wonderful day to be at this touchdown club that we all enjoy so much each week. Thank you for David's leadership and the sponsors and the volunteers that make each week so joyful for the rest of us, and for bringing Coach O to us today. Thank you for the safe trip here. Pray that you'll take him home safely. But we look forward to enjoying his personality. We thank you for the many, many years that he's served young people and developed young men in his life. We thank you, Father, for the life of Clark Yarborough. It's times like this, Father, that we struggle. We never like to lose anybody, but when we lose a young person, we don't understand. But we know that's not for us to do. It's your part. So we, on this end, Father, thank you for his life, that he lived, that he believed in you, that he's with you now. We pray that you will bless his mother and his family, and we pray that you will bless Rex, the Ouachita family, the student body, as they transition without him and as they honor him. For this food today, thank you for the nourishment it was to our bodies. And we pray, Father, that we'll all live a life in such a way that you'll tell us one day, well done. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thanks, Randy. If the Buzz broadcast is bothersome back there, let's close those doors. If it's not, it's completely up to you folks on the back row. I can sort of hear him up here, but if it's not bothering you guys, you can leave it completely up to you guys in the back. Want to remind everybody, silence your phones if you could. Go ahead and do that now. If you want to text everybody and say, hey, if you're not here, you can listen to Coach O on the Buzz coming up, 103.7 The Buzz Live. You can go to our Facebook page, YouTube page, so please do that. Thanks to all of you who have joined. Couldn't do it without all you members, whether you paid the basic, whether you just come a 50-yard line member, whether you just come one meeting at a time. We appreciate you. Couldn't do it without you. I was showing Coach all of our banners. And, Coach, you're very familiar with everybody out there. And this is a hardware that we give away each year, excluding the Broyles Award. But that's what we're here for, is to honor these fine folks and honor the great football players around the country and here in the state. Let me thank our sponsors real quick. 103.7 The Buzz. Coach, how did they treat you? They treat you good on the Buzz with Wes and Joe? Okay, with Wes, very, very nice. We appreciate them. Of course, Arkansas Urology sponsors that segment every week. We appreciate them as well. Hatcher Agency, Twin City Limo. Greg Hatcher, I know he's not in a happy mood today with the loss over the weekend, but we hope Lane bounces back. Thank you to Popeye, who will be taking care of Coach and Brandy today. Appreciate them. Also, War Memorial Stadium, big game this Friday, Parkview and Bryant. Yeah, that's at the Grand Ole. Coach, you remember War Memorial?
No question.
No question. Yeah, good and bad, right? Good and bad. Yeah, mostly good. But take advantage of the great War Memorial Stadium when you have the opportunity to go visit. Also, next, Arkansas Urology wanted to play a new commercial they have. And, Coach, you may notice the young man in the commercial. He is a kicker for the Razorbacks who happened to kick one late field goal against your former team. That was the end. But let's take a look at Arkansas Urology's newest commercial with their NIL agreement with Cam Little.
Thank you.
There you go. Boom. Cam Little. Just like that. Coach, I didn't plan it that way. They just wanted to play it today. You know, we got that boot back that last year. Just saying.
Sign the top.
Well, story on that too. So thank you, Arkansas Urology, Pulaski County Farm Bureau, Todd Dennis and Stephen Riker. We got two great folks from the State Farm Bureau Insurance State Office. Mr. Kevin McKenzie, who's Executive VP and GM, and Mr. Mac Wallace, VP of Sales and State Sales Manager. Can't believe this is your first meeting. Don't make it be your last. We appreciate Farm Bureau and you guys always being here, class bunch of guys, and I want to thank Todd and Stephen for always being here. Advantage Service Company, Kevin Brooks and the entire team at Advantage Service Company. One call does it all. 501 one call. Plumbing, HVAC, electrical generators, they do it all. Great to have Kevin and Advantage Service Company here. Dairy Queen, I have to admit, while Coach was lifting his shirt on the plane ride up here, I had Dairy Queen on the way back from Fayetteville. Shows you the difference. Jessica, I'm sorry. This is all you got here. I'm sorry. But the new Clarksville location is open, so when you're going up to the game, you can stop by and see them. They're the fastest growing DQ franchise probably in America, so we thank them and their support. Simmons Bank Arena, did you guys hear the concert coming to town, the concert announcement this week? The Eagles are coming back. Michael, very nice. That's a home run. It will be November 27th. And then Kane Brown, April 1st, two big artists, but the Hotel California tour is going to be awesome by the Eagles. So that's November 27th. When do tickets go on sale? This Friday, right? Tickets go on sale this Friday. We appreciate Simmons Bank Arena and all the success. You guys keep climbing the chart as the #1 arena in the world right here in Central Arkansas. We appreciate you. Let's see who else we want to thank here. I know here. Where's my? Oh, hold on. Here we go. Coach, Big Red Stores, family owned, doing great things, one of the fastest growing convenience stores in America. They've got a video out today they wanted you to see. You might see somebody familiar in that one too. Matt?
Oh, thank you. Let's get to the tailgate.
I got next.
Who's that kid? It looks familiar. I don't know who it is.
Hey, you're Cam Little.
Big Red Stores, your tailgate headquarters. Now more convenient than ever.
Coach, if you know, that was Cam Little again in the Big Red commercial. Obviously, Cam Little's doing really well on the NIL front this year. Well done. Love those spots from Big Red. There are more coming. Can't wait to see more. Celebrating 25 years here. Thank you. Wright, Lindsay, and Jennings. I don't know if you guys have heard. Coach, you know, that is our award that Wright, Lindsay, and Jennings sponsors. It's called the Cliff Harris Award. Right up there. It goes to the top small college player in America, Division II, Division III, NAIA. We have two guys now on the starting roster of the New England Patriots that have won the award. The last two award winners, Kyle Duggar, who may be all-pro, and then Sam Roberts made the team, the 53-man roster, because of this club and because of this award that we give, gave him extra attention, got him the chance, got drafted. And but how about that? Judy, we couldn't have done that without Wright, Lindsay, and Jennings. That's exactly right. We appreciate you and Charlie Coleman, Antoine Phillips, everybody. You guys are great. Thank you so much. Crane Automotive, where's Larry Crane? Larry and I had the pleasure. I want to thank Larry for helping us get Coach here yesterday. We spent a lot of time talking to Coach and his girlfriend Brandy, and we learned a lot about Larry. How even though he's got 23 dealerships now, he started by selling soap, making his own soap. That's how he started. It's a great story, and he got to hear some of the good stuff. But thank you for helping get that done. Obviously, Crane Automotive's done so much for the Touchdown Club. We appreciate you, Bart, and all the guys. You got a great crew. Thank you very much. And Larry, that was a blast yesterday. Democrat Gazette, we get to do our All Arkansas Preps Player of the Week in just a few minutes. Not now. Just a few minutes. We'll get you up here. But great to have family and Coach. And Amanda, thank you for starting that up again. And great to have Wally here. I think he may be here around here somewhere. You know, I read the Democrat Gazette every morning before I do my show, so couldn't do it without him. And last but not least, Simmons Bank. Great to have Chris White back. Chris is the only guy on the stage that can probably take his shirt off and go toe-to-toe with Coach O. Great to have Chris and Freddie Black, who will be honored here soon by the Burlsworth Trophy folks for all his years of contribution to the community. Couldn't be what we are without Simmons Bank. You guys are the best. All of our sponsors, let's give them a round of applause, if you will. We got the best in the business. Whoever this is has got a lot of credit cards in here. Let's see. It looks like Don Rogers. Don, where are you at? I saw you over there. Go buy something real quick. Here we go. All right. Do want to thank our great Touchdown Club team. Best in the business, Brant Bailey, Lakia, Angel, Mark Franklin. You guys are the best. M&M Productions in the back, handling all of our AV needs. Thank you, Matt. Dwayne Duncan with our photography. RJ Hawk handling our social media. Meredith Scott Hell helping with the social media, and her little boy, Oliver. We got the best Touchdown Club volunteer team in America, Coach. It's the best. Nobody's close to it, led by Debbie Wyman. Let's give our Touchdown Club team a round of applause. Hey, Raj, throw me a napkin, will you? Tell you, you're my... There we go. Like Elvis, Coach. Got to wipe the sweat off. All right, this time for our first Player of the Week. RJ Hawk, come up and introduce him, and let's give him a big round of applause.
Boy, high school football is back in the state, and I could not be happier, and especially with our first recipient of this award. I'm going to tell you some numbers real quick before I tell you who he is. In the last 2 weeks, he's only had 9 incomplete passes in 2 weeks. He's passed for over 705 yards, and has had 8 touchdown passes. Against Valley View 2 weeks ago, he went 28 of 32 for 409 yards and 5 touchdowns. And then this past week against Camden Harmony Grove, 24 of 29 for 296 yards and 3 touchdowns. Coming to us from Harding Academy, his head coach Neil Evans, who's in attendance, our All Arkansas Preps Player of the Week is Owen Miller, the quarterback from Harding Academy.
Marcia and Todd Miller, where are you guys at? Great to have you both, Mom and Dad. Great to have you. Got a fine young man there. Good luck the rest of the season. I know you're proud of him. Great to have you all here today, and Coach Evans as well. Now, you heard Rex. Rex is going to struggle today, so we may just cut this thing a little shorter than normal. But it's our first weekend wrap-up of the season, so just do your best. Rex Nelson, everybody. Here we go.
You know, Gary Underwood's cheap alma mater puts you on the roof as a visitor broadcaster, and it rained on us. So I did 5 hours in the rain on Thursday, and it about ruined my voice. So I am calling my doctor this afternoon. I'm getting a steroid treatment, and after those steroids, I'll sound just like Coach O. So get ready. Those steroids are coming, Coach. How about Arkansas 31, Cincinnati 24? Let's hear it for that. I got to tell you, that was Sam Pittman football at the end, keeping the ball on the ground, running it down their throat, and running off the final 5:49 on the clock. That was old-fashioned football right there. Never letting them get the ball back after they got it down to a one-possession game. Now, that is the first time to win as a ranked team against another ranked team in a season opener since beating number 5 USC in 1974. Raise your hand if you were at that game, because I know some of you were. Look how many. 1974, it had been that long. Sellout crowd of 74,751. Stats were very close. Arkansas outgained Cincinnati 447 to 436. Both teams had 23 first downs. Arkansas now 101, 24, and 4 all-time in season openers. Cincinnati, get this, is 22 and 3 since 2020. All 3 losses have come against SEC teams. Bumper Poole leads the Arkansas defense, 13 tackles. He's already 8th in school history now, and he'll keep going up this season, 362 tackles. And one of my favorite stories, how about the fact that the 2 punters were brothers from Australia, and their parents got to come. You know, Australia's had a strict lockdown, and the family reunion was in Fayetteville after 2 years of not seeing each other. I thought that was a great side story. All right, ASU also 1-0. 58-3 victory over Grambling. The Red Wolves had jumped out to a 30-0 lead by the second quarter. James Blackman finished 15 of 20 passing, 210 yards. He had 2 passing and 2 rushing scores. He led touchdown drives on 4 of the first 5 series in that game. UAPB also 1-0, 48-42 over Lane College. UAPB had defeated Lane 34-16 last year to start the season. A sophomore running back named Kaylon Britton had 237 rushing yards and 297 total yards. That 237 ranks him second on the all-time list at UAPB. And on Thursday night, UCA falls to 0-1, a 27-14 loss to Bobby Petrino's Missouri State Bears. After a scoreless first quarter, Missouri State outscores UCA 17-0 in the second quarter. UCA secondary gave up 266 yards through the air, and it doesn't get easy. They go to Ole Miss this week. All right, Arkansas's GAC teams all played on Thursday night. They went 5-1 against Oklahoma teams. Henderson, 30. Southwestern Oklahoma, 13. Sophomore quarterback Landon Ledbetter, 319 yards, 179 passing, 140 rushing. Ouachita, 42. Oklahoma Baptist, 32. That's why Gary's not here today. T.J. Cole, 176 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns. Kendall Givens, 142 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns. Ouachita, 406 rushing yards in that game. Harding, 29. East Central Oklahoma, 12. Cole Keyline completed 3 touchdown passes. That's unheard of for Harding. They haven't passed that much in recent years, but have a passing game this year. UAM 49, Southern Nazarene 26, quarterback DeMylan Brown rushes for 149 yards, pass for 228 yards for the Boll Weevils. You've got to love being in a state, Coach O, where you got a Boll Weevil mascot. SAU 62, Northwestern Oklahoma 31. That's the most points ever scored by a Mule Rider team in a season opener. Only loss of the bunch was very narrow. Arkansas Tech fell 41-34 in 2 overtimes to Southeastern Oklahoma. Our Division III team, Hendricks, beat Austin College 20-0 as Jacob Wood completed 18 of 26 passes for 238 yards. NAI, Ottawa out of Arizona beats Lyon College 70-0, but Arkansas Baptist beats Texas College 31-12. Now, the SEC, only 1 loss on opening weekend. On Thursday, of course, it was Missouri 52, Louisiana Tech 24, Tennessee 59, Ball State 10. And then on Saturday, how about Georgia 49, Oregon 3? Talk about making the SEC look good. Alabama 55-0 over Utah State. Texas A&M 31-0 over Sam Houston State. Florida 29, number 7 Utah 26. Ole Miss 28, Troy 10, Kentucky 37, Miami of Ohio 13. It was Auburn 42, Mercer 16, South Carolina 35, Georgia State 14, Vanderbilt 42, Elon 31, and Mississippi State 49, Memphis 23, Michael Marion. Only loss, of course, could have been an overtime victory if LSU could kick an extra point. Florida State 24, LSU 23. But what a weekend for the SEC. All right, this weekend at South Carolina at Arkansas, Alabama at Texas, San Jose State at Auburn, Kentucky at Florida, Samford at Georgia. That's Samford, not Stanford. Southern University at LSU in a Baton Rouge battle. Mississippi State at Arizona. Missouri at Kansas State. As I mentioned, UCA at Ole Miss, Tennessee at Pittsburgh, Appalachian State at Texas A&M, and Wake Forest at Vanderbilt. Here in the state, again, in addition to the game at Fayetteville, we've got North American, an NAI school out of Houston at UAPB, Southern Nazarene at Ouachita, Southeastern Oklahoma at Harding, Oklahoma Baptist at UAM, East Central Oklahoma at Arkansas Tech. Those are all Saturday games. So games Saturday in Fayetteville, Pine Bluff, Arkadelphia, Searcy, Monticello, and Russellville. Absolutely no excuses. Get out and see a college football game this weekend. Thanks, everybody.
If there's an EMT in the back, would you please come up with some cold packs, something for the heat and for your throat. Good job. You made it through there, Rex. Well done. Before we bring up Coach, I wanted to do a couple things real quick. One, you guys know who listen to the Buzz, one of the legendary voices in Arkansas radio, Tommy Smith, retired. Great to have Tommy back at the Touchdown Club with his wife, Karen. Great to have Tommy back. So you can't replace a legend, you know. So me and Raj and RJ, you know, where do we turn next? And we decided to do something a little different because you can't replace Tommy. So we went after a guy by the name of Justin Moore. And I don't know if you guys heard, but, you know, the way we look at it, Coach, you know, he just mentioned every imaginable college at whatever level. We want to support them all. And so how about our man Justin Moore from Little Poen, Arkansas, has his number 11th number one hit, just hit the charts. Let's give it up for Justin Moore. Not one number one hit, but 11 of them. And, Coach, we can't be more proud. One of the reasons I wanted his wife on the right there, Kate, is from Houma. Went to Vanderbilt Catholic High School, went to Nichols for college, but was from Houma, which is your neck of the woods. So, but anyway, you know, anytime an Arkansan achieves something on the national level, and we're really proud to have him on our show. Loves those Razorbacks, boy. Woo! And Roger, you're right there. Your vocal talent is right there by him. We'll put your picture up next week. Well, sorry. Next, before we bring up Coach, Larry and I got a chance, you know, to pick Coach up and his girlfriend Brandy up, and such a pleasant person, and she's a wonderful woman. And I know if she's with Coach, listen, she's got to hold on. She's got to hold on because it's a wild ride with you. But I want us to give a great Touchdown Club welcome to Brandy Spears, everybody. Brandy, please stand. Come on, stand up. So she had to listen to 3 hours of football talk yesterday, but great respect for a great mother of an 11-year-old and a 4-year-old, and that's what I respect most. And welcome to Arkansas. Glad to have you here and hope to have you back. All right, without further ado, let's see what Steve Sullivan says about our man Ed Orgeron, and we'll get him up here on stage. Steve?
This is Coach O in 1986, his first college job, assistant strength coach at Arkansas. 19 years later, he was doing Hummer commercials as the head coach at Ole Miss.
Tough, aggressive, and it represents everything that we want at Ole Miss. I have my Hummer. You need a Hummer. Tell them about it, JoJo.
That lasted only 3 seasons. Let's jump ahead to 2004. Coach O, interim head coach at USC, is celebrating an upset win over Stanford. A 6-2 record, not good enough to land him the job. So was off to LSU, where in season 2, he replaced Les Miles. In his first 3.5 seasons as head coach at LSU, the Tigers went 48-9. That 4-year run ended with the third 15-0 season in college football history.
As they say in the Bayou, laissez la bon temps rouler. Let the good times roll.
Please welcome a former National Recruiter of the Year and a National Coach of the Year, Coach O, Ed Orgeron.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it.
What's up? Thank you so
Hey,
much.
great
for
to be
watching
back in
ESPN
Arkansas.
On YouTube.
Thank you. Thanks, David. Thanks for the touchdown club. You guys are wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah, Coach, we were talking last time you were here, 2014. A lot has happened since then.
No question. Thanks for bringing me back. After 2014, I won a pretty good run, so maybe I can go to another one.
You know, put that picture back up. Let's look at Coach Orgeron when he was a grad assistant. That's 1986. Dean Weber, you worked with Dean, you were a strength coach, and it was right after I left. It was a year after I left, and some great memories.
Man, what a wonderful time. You know, I was shoveling shrimp in the shrimp shed, and I got a call and said, "Baby, you got a call from Arkansas." Arkansas, what's going on? Brad Scott I had worked with at Northwestern State. He said, "Man, we got a job for you in the strength job at the University of Arkansas. You want?" I said, "Hold on." I was in my shrimp boots. I had my shrimp, my shovel. I was shoveling the shrimp with my shrimp. Boom! Threw that thing in the bayou. I gave him. I said, "Yeah, I want a job." I said, "Where's Arkansas at?"
Now, you said that one of the great things, I read the book. The book is called Flip the Script. My third book I've read this last month. Give the description. You were in the bottom of this boat, and talk about how you guys would get fed and how it would sound.
Oh, man, we get on the bottom of the boat at 5 in the morning, and look, we get out at about 10 at night, unless another boat would come. But at 12 o'clock, the horn would blow, and I can hear that bucket coming. Skeet, 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 skeet. And it was a silver bucket, and it had a bag of Lay's potato chips, a Coke, and a sandwich. One thing of lunch meat with some mustard. Boy, I tell you what, you sat on the ice, you ate that thing, the horn blew, put it in the bucket, 12:15, went up. But look out on Friday, double meat Friday, baby. I couldn't wait.
So obviously, when you got the call, you were ready to go. And what are your memories of Arkansas? You're Ken Hatfield, Fred Goldsmith.
What a tremendous opportunity. You know, I'd been at Northwestern State. John Thompson had recommended me to Dean Weber, and Dean and I still friends today. And just to go there to Division I program, work on a George Williford. I saw his sister was there, and then work with great athletes and being around. One of my favorite memories was on Thursday morning, I had to, handle the guys, maybe a little discipline. You know, I could have been in there myself. It might have been out a little too late or done something. I was probably with them. I didn't tell nobody. Maybe missed a class or something. So we didn't want to work them out too much before game time on the squat rack, so we put them on the hip sled. Well, you guys know a hip sled, and you push it. And, man, I'm in there, and I'm just getting after them. And, man, beads of sweat are coming. And this guy goes, "Man, you crazy." "What do you mean I'm crazy?" He goes, "You know who that guy is?" I said, "Yeah, Stephen Jones, outside linebacker." He goes, "You know who his daddy is?" I said, "No." He said, "His daddy's Jerry Jones." I said, "Who the hell's Jerry Jones? I don't care." Hey, to this day, Stephen, he tried to hire me to the Cowboys, respects me because I coached him as a football player. That was a great memory.
You know, it's funny. I was going to show you. You saw the trim cut haircut of Ed Orgeron. Let's show it when he was at Northwestern State. Look at there. Look at that guy. Listen, a little bit longer. A little bit. But that was obviously, so you were able to go back. You know, you were able to spend 2 years there, go to Arkansas for 2 years. And this is an amazing story. So you're 2 years at Arkansas. You're looking around for other opportunities. And talk about your objective.
Well, back then, January 1, as we all remember, everybody played on January 1. And I watched the University of Miami win the National Championship. Well, one of my coaches was there, Bill Johnson, as a graduate assistant. So I was going to come back to Arkansas. And by the way, I have a beautiful girlfriend. I got to tell you a story about Brandon a little bit later. But I had a pretty good friend, and her name was Vicky, and she was from Pine Bluff. And I called her, "Hey, Vicky, I'm going to come get you." "Ed, them roads are full of ice. Don't come now." I said, "Okay." So I called Coach Hatfield. I said, "Coach," he said, "the roads are bad. Don't come." So I'm sitting around the house. I said, you know what? Let me call Bill Johnson and congratulate him. I won a national championship. I remember the number right now, 305-284-2563. Wow. and I called, and the secretary answered. I said, ma'am, may I speak to Bill Johnson? She goes, Coach, Bill just left. He got a job at Louisiana Tech, but I'm going to put you in charge. I'm going to put you in touch with one of the coaches.
Hold on a second.
Okay.
Grab it a little bit higher on that mic.
Right,
Don't
good.
grab the bottom of it.
Right here. All right, we good there? Yep. I don't need that damn mic. So Tommy Tuberville gets on the phone. I had met him one time. And I said, hey, Tub, where's Bill? He said, hey, him and Dawn going back to Louisiana Tech. I said, hey, man, you got a graduate assistant job open. He goes, hell yeah, you want it? I said, yeah, I want it. He said, we're meeting on in 20 minutes. He called me in a half hour. He said, you got the job, man. Can you be here on Monday? I said, yeah. Now, back then, I partaked in a couple of beverages, so you guys may know that. For the grace of God, I haven't in a while. That's why I'm standing here today, I can tell you that. So my car was leaking oil. And I had an old cutlass, you remember them tops, the top used to fall down, used to tighten. So I stopped at the gas station, and I bought me a case of oil and a case of beer, and on to Miami I went.
But if it had not been for Vicky telling you not to drive on those icy roads.
Yeah, thank God, Vicky, wherever you at, thank God for telling me not to come. And I'm going to tell you what, she was good looking. It had to be icy, I promise you.
So just to make it clear, this next step, so you're looking at a guy, who as a coach has won five national championships. One as a head coach at LSU, 2 at Miami, and 2 at USC. So I just want to put that in context. This guy he's experienced 5 national championships. You go down the first year, you got Jimmy Johnson as your coach, and talk about how much you learned with Jimmy down there.
The first day I stepped on the field, I knew how to coach them. That Jimmy was, him and Pete were still the 2 best coaches I ever seen. The intensity level that I saw those guys working at the University of Miami it's still never been matched. But the way they coach and the way those players, I heard those players say 2 words when I was at the University of Miami. Yes, sir. And as we know, things have changed now. Nowadays, you tell them something, they go, why? Why I got to do that? But we had a great time at the University of Miami, and Jimmy was phenomenal.
Coach, a lot of great players. I mean, really some of the greatest defensive linemen to ever play the game. I mean, you really did. You had a chance. So you remember, you get there for 1 year. Jimmy Johnson coaches 1 year. Leaves for the Cowboys.
Yeah.
You got Dennis Erickson come in, and you turn around, you still win 2 national championships.
Yeah. The ball was rolling back then. They had some great players. And I learned a lot from my players, too. But, Coach Erickson comes in. He wanted to keep the 4-3 defense. Tommy Tuberville was instrumental in getting the job. I was assistant defensive line coach. And we had Cortez Kennedy. And Cortez, as you guys know from Arkansas, God bless him, one of the best human beings I ever coached. And Tommy had recruited Cortez from Northwest Arkansas. Coach Lace Wallace passed yet. We still talk about the story. Everybody passed him up. And so we were running the 16-110 test. Well, Cortez, and God bless him now, and he allowed me to tell the story, was a little late because of eligibility, right? So he comes in the day we were running the 16-110 test. And boy, you get your recruit in, everybody's walking around, this is my recruit, man. I want to see him. And, so me and Tommy were instrumental in getting Cortez. Well, we run a 16-110 test. So here comes Cortez. 350 pounds. Wins the first sprint.
110 yards.
110 yards. Wins the first sprint. And me and Tommy going, yeah, that's our recruit. Yeah. Man, second. Wins it again. Man. And Coach Johnson, they're just looking like that. We played in Florida State, now number 1 team in the country. Coach Johnson is tight. Man, the third one, Cortez wins again. Man, everybody's going, yeah, we recruited him. He takes off his shirt. He starts swinging in the air. At Florida State, we're going to whip that butt. Man, everybody, man, who's this guy? Hey, the fourth one did, he passed out. Coach is kicking him off the field. He played on the PAT field goal team that year. He got to be friends. Me and him were great human being. And you guys know Cortez. He's a great human being.
Coach, obviously some of the greatest defensive linemen to play, and one of the most probably well-known defensive linemen, but he's not known as a defensive lineman. A guy named Dwayne Johnson. Some of you may remember. That's how the Rock looked back in your days. And let's show the next shot there. that guy turned into that guy. So what was it like, Coach? What do you remember? As a matter of fact, the TV show that talks about his life, you have a character in there that plays you, an actor. And what do you remember about that experience with him?
First of all, he's a great human being. His nickname was Dewey. And not The Rock, it was Dewey. Hey, Dewey. And I remember coming off the practice field one day. And back then, we kind of use words today that we don't use, And I said, damn it, Dewey. And his uncle was a wrestler. I said, you ought to go be a damn wrestler like your uncle. You ain't worth a crap. Well, at least he took good advice.
He did it. He did it. You ever see him? He's in great shape still.
Yeah, we win the national championship. He does the motivational video for us. He keeps in touch with me. Before we did the show, we did a cameo, me and him. He was all fired up. He was telling everybody, hey, that's Coach Joe, that's Coach Joe. I was telling everybody, that's The Rock, that's The Rock. He's a great human being. I'm glad to see he's having that much success.
Now, you spent 4 years at Miami, Coach, and you're on top of the world. Just won 2 national championships, but you were dealing with a problem.
Yeah.
And that was addiction.
Yeah, got it fixed. But it's a guy that's been sober for 22 years, and I'm happy about that.
And so while you were getting that fixed, Paul Pasqualoni calls you at Syracuse, gives you that opportunity to get back into football.
Yeah, I went to Syracuse. Very, very fortunate that Coach Pasqualoni hired me, gave me a chance, gave me back Division I. I stayed 3 years there. I was leaving to go recruiting on May 1st. I was shoveling snow on my driveway. My wife back then said, you mad? I said, hell yeah. I said, we getting out of here. She goes, where are we going? I said, we're going south. I'm getting out of here, man. But it was a great opportunity, and I'm very grateful for Coach Pasqualoni.
So then you go from snow, cold, to the West Coast. So Paul Hackett hires you at USC. You're there 3 years. Paul Hackett gets fired. But this is a great story that even though Paul Hackett was fired, you made the decision to keep recruiting. Yeah. Every day you were recruiting.
I called my mentor, in my program.
Hold on, let's see.
What?
Yeah, there. No?
Good, here, there. We didn't have microphones in Louisiana. Y'all did. There.
You're listening. He's loud enough he could do it without it.
Now, right? All right. So, I called my mentor.
Let's do this one.
All right, good. All right, this back. No? All right, the hell with it.
Move your hand up higher.
Good. Ready?
Move your hand up higher. There we go.
Hey, Brandy.
Brandy, will you come up here?
My personal assistant, when you come home, my microphone. So I called my mentor. I said, what should I do? He goes, get your butt on the road recruiting today. Okay. So I go to a couple of schools. They laugh at me. They say, what are you doing? I went to one school. The coach from UCLA was there. He laughed at me. I said, I'm going to be back. So it was 2 weeks. And Sean Cody was the USA Defensive Player of the Year. And I was recruiting him. And I went up into the stadium. I gave the pregame speech. I wasn't supposed to do it. But I'm not coaching now, so I can tell. So I went in there. I gave the pregame speech. And before the game, I was on the sideline. And I went. His daddy was a big Irishman. Wanted to go to Notre Dame. So I went up to the stadium. Say hello. Grandma. Hey, I'm great with the grandma and mamas. I got them. They got them. How you doing? Go to shake Big Mike's hand. Notre Dame sitting on one side. UCLA sitting on the other. Big Mike don't shake my hand. He said, Coach, get out of here. You don't have a job. You don't have a coach. And Sean's not going to USC. The coach from Notre Dame started laughing. The coach from UCLA started laughing. I looked at him and said, Big Mike, I'm going to coach at USC as long as I effing want to, and your son's going to be a Trojan. And I left. So I'm sitting on the sideline. It's halftime. I've been recruiting for 2 weeks, man. I got a wife, 3 kids at home. We don't know if we have a job. I said, you know what? That son of a gun's right. Well, that Cajun came out in me. I said, I'm fixing to go up them stands and whip those boys' ass. And, man, it felt good. I walked up about 5 stairs and I said, man, something told me get out of here. This ain't good. So I usually go down, you got Los Angeles 405 freeway, but I was there at 714. So I went down there. And all of a sudden I get a call from Coach Barry Scher, Los Alamitos High School. Coach O, what you doing? I said, man, I'm on my way home. He said, man, you need to come see Long Beach Poly. I said, where are they playing at? He said, Anaheim Angel Stadium. You think it's a God thing? Right there was Anaheim Angel Stadium, the next exit. I said, I'm coming. Go there. He said, here's the sideline pass. Go on the sideline. Why he told me that, I don't know. I'm on the sideline. I got my USC stuff on. It's 10:30 at night. The Fog's playing, Laura's playing, Long Beach Poly. And here comes a guy named Pete Carroll. My nickname, Baby. Baby. Coach Carroll, how you doing? He goes, what you doing here? I wanted to ask him the same, but I didn't. Like, you know. And I said, I'm recruiting. He goes, for who? I said, USC. He goes, really? You been recruiting? I said, yeah. He goes, you know these players? I said, yeah. Darnell, Bing, Herschel. He said, they can play? I said, yeah, they can play. Hell yeah, they can play. Can they play for USC? I said, yeah, they can. Why you asking me that? He goes, I'm going to be named the head coach at the University of Southern California Monday afternoon at 2:30. Huh, okay. I said, hey, I got some players for you. I said, give me your number. He looked at me like, man, this guy's I got the #1 player in the country. I'm going to be in school Monday morning. You need to be on the phone with him. He's like, wow, here's the number. So I go to Sean's school Monday morning. Sean talks to Coach Carroll. Nobody knows about it. Sean's all fired up. Coach Carroll gets on the phone. He goes, hey, man, by the way, Pete coached at Arkansas. You guys know he loves Arkansas. And he goes, Eddie, I need you to be at the introduction. I said, okay. So lo and behold, I go to the introduction. Now, I've been the only coach on the road recruiting for 2 weeks. Guess who I see? All 9 other coaches. Got a suit on, they fresh, they shaking hands, ready to go. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? So Pete gets introduced. They didn't want him. He's a retread and all that stuff. Right? So he said, staff meeting. So we go in there, and I used to sit right near the head coach. Some punks and sitting in my chair, got a resume, giving it out. I got to sit way in the back. I am not happy, okay? Coach Carroll, this is what he said. This is Pete Carroll all the way, man. He goes, you know, guys, there's a lot of great coaches on this staff, but I just want to start on you. I'm not keeping anybody. Huh. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I was the last one to walk on. He said, all except you, Eddie, let's go to work. and away we went. But there's a story. Just keep on working, keep on knocking. You never know. Just keep on working, man. Something good's going to happen.
And where did Cody go to school?
Say it again?
Where did the young man go?
Sean Cody came to USC. We signed Sean Cody. His freshman year, he gets a severe knee injury. He's in the hospital. Went there, me and his mom and daddy, and his daddy thanked me for having his son 16 miles away, because if he had Notre Dame, he wouldn't have been there. Great story.
How about that? Yeah, Pete Carroll, Matt, these pictures here, that's, you were a Louisiana guy, Cajun guy out there in L.A., but within 2 years, you guys won a national championship.
Yeah.
You won 2 national championships, almost won a third.
Yeah, we had some great recruiters. Lane Kiffin was on that staff, Steve Sarkisian, Norm Child. USC's a powerhouse, and it's a great recruiting area. He did it the right way.
You got a chance from there. You got your head coaching opportunity at Ole Miss. Yeah. In reading your book, which is called Flip the Script, if you want to read the book. Johnny from El Paso, I see. I'm sure you've already read it 7 times. Love you, Johnny. But you said you wondered if while you were there, it was not the greatest experience for you. You heard some of the things that were being said and just didn't feel as comfortable there the time you were there.
Yeah, but I thanked them. Man, look, I was young. That was my first job. You don't read a book on how to be a head coach. You got to go do it. And Pete warned me. He said, listen, man, you can't go coach that team like a defensive line now. And them quarterbacks, they don't want to hear how Coach Warren Sapp. So it did work pretty good. The biggest thing I learned from there is that I'm on my way home. And I was happy to go. It was just one a good marriage. And I'm on my way home, and I called my mentor. And I start, this was wrong, this was wrong. Whoa, what's wrong? No, none of that bull. He said, that may or may not be true. He said, but you're going to learn, son, the only person you can change in the world is you. He said, now, what did you do wrong? Well, I didn't want to do that. But anyway, that was my mentor. And what happened is I started writing things down, what I wanted to do to change to become a better head coach. I knew I was going to get a chance again. Other people didn't, but I knew. And let me share this with you, David. I want to share this with everybody. I tell this to all my recruits, and congratulations to the winner. I tell this to everybody. I think all of us, maybe most of us, played this game. You lay down in your bed. You remember, you take the ball and you throw it, and you see how close you can come to the ceiling without hitting it, right? And so I used to do that. I used to dream. And my dream was to be the head coach at Louisiana State University. That was my dream. And I tell everybody has a dream. Everybody in here, God put a dream in your heart. And everyone is different. That's your dream. You ain't got to tell nobody else. Guess what? They're going to be jealous. They don't want you to do it. But take that dream, write it down, put it to work, and chase it. And never stop. Adversity is going to hit. That's why other people quit. I had a lot of, somebody told me, Orgeron, you're too stupid to quit. I am. I ain't going to quit. I'm going to go get it. And to be, and he's going to get to this, but to realize that I achieved my dream is something I want to share with everybody. If I can do it, you can do it. I promise you.
Yeah. Amen. So you get fired at Ole Miss, and so you go to New Orleans. You realize when you're there, you don't want to coach NFL players. That's not your thing. You want to impact young men. Then you got a call from Lane Kiffin.
Yeah.
You go to Tennessee.
Yeah.
Spend a year at Tennessee.
That was fun.
that was crazy, huh? From there, you go out to USC.
Yep.
You get 2 years. He gets fired on the tarmac. You become head coach. You go 6-2. You thought you had the head coaching job at that point.
It's going to happen. You better be ready. So I tell my kids, they're young analysts. They want to be the offensive coordinator. I said, whoa, hey, you better be ready because it's going to happen. And boy, I tell you what, when it happened with Lane and shit, I was assistant head coach. So I'm part of it. But the next day I said, okay, here you go. And I went back to my notes. Here's what I'm going to do. Here's what I'm going to get done. And I had to do it. And the biggest thing for me is to change. My girlfriend will tell you that. I can promise you that. But I had to change. I had to change the ways that I thought in order for me to be successful, and it worked.
So you were disappointed you didn't get the coaching job at USC, and lo and behold, full circle, you come around and you become the defensive line coach at LSU.
Well, what an experience. I got to tell the team it was an emotional time, and my wife back then, we were sitting on about to take off. I'm crying. And she goes, why are you so sad? They just pulled out a $12 million contract under the years ago. She goes, whoa, God, he got a better plan. It's going to be okay. I looked at her, I said, damn, it better be good. That was she was. She was right. He took me away from there. I was living in a hotel. My family was back in Mandeville. My kids needed to be back at home. Les Miles gave me a chance to be the defensive line coach, and lo and behold, what happened? And
you became head coach. That was the dream. So what was that like when that finally happened?
It was wonderful. Hey, and listen, man, when you're the head coach, there's a lot of stuff coming. I said, block out the noise. I'm going to work every day, and I'm going to give it every darn thing I got. I don't know if you guys watch. You guys do. You like the Eagles. You watch Tony Montana, Scarface. You remember at the end when they bring it and say hello to my little friend? That was my attitude every day. Come on. Dot. Come on. Hey, so what? I'm the head coach of LSU, you know what I mean? But what a wonderful time, and we'll talk about some things that have really happened.
Yeah, so obviously things get better and better, and then you have a magical season that obviously we Razorback fans weren't happy about, but an unbelievable year. You win the national championship. There are a couple great shots here of you and number 9 there, Joe Burrow. Yeah. And I think the coolest thing, for those of you that did not see the Heisman ceremony, this is the clip. And Matt, you've got that time frame, right, for the clip. This is when Joe Burrow, he said a few things, and then he wants to turn and talk about Coach O.
Like I said earlier, just a kid from Ohio coming down chasing a dream. And the entire state has welcomed me and my family with open arms and invited us in to be native Louisianians. I've learned to love crawfish and gumbo. And during crawfish season, Coach O made sure we have pounds and pounds and pounds of crawfish in and out of here. Coach O. You have no idea what you mean to my family.
That's cool.
I didn't play for 3 years. You took a chance on me, not knowing if I could play or not. Now I'm forever with you. Forever grateful for you. Can you imagine a guy like Coach O giving me the keys to his football program? He just means so much to me and my family. And to LSU, I sure hope they give him a lifetime contract. He deserves it.
How about that? How about that speech, Coach? I mean, all the things you've been through, that kind of moment makes it all worthwhile.
I've never seen Joe emotional like that. And, you know, he's the key. And I gave him the keys. Hell yeah, made sure he's on the bus. If he wasn't on the bus was early. Where's Joe? But, you know, we're having a spring game, and my son, he's playing at McNeese, and spring games on TV. And he called me right out. He said, Dad, you need a quarterback. I said, no shit. So he goes, Daddy, this guy, Joe Burrow's transferred from Ohio State. You ought to get him. I said, who is that? So one of my coaches was on the staff. He says, Coach, if we get Joe Burrow, we're going to play. I said, well, go get him. So Joe comes on a recruiting visit. The first thing he tells me, he said, Coach, I don't want to talk to you. I said, what? He said, I don't want to hear your recruiting game. I know you got game. All I want to do is talk football and eat crawfish. Well, you know, imagine what went through my head. You know, get your ass back on the plane, Ohio, boy. But the next day we had a football meeting, and Joe was in there, I was in there, Steve Ensminger, Jerry Sullivan, 74 years old, been in the NFL, Joe's daddy, Joe's brother. It took me 5 minutes to figure out that Joe was by far the smartest guy in that room. That was including me, and I didn't care about it. But look, so, you know, this recruitment process was wild. And so we go to eat crawfish that night. And my recruiting coordinator goes, there's no crawfish here. I said, call Boudreaux, tell him to get 40 pounds, cook it, well seasoned, bring it through the damn kitchen, and put it on that platter. What? 20 minutes, here come the crawfish. Joe's eating crawfish. Joe's happy. I took Joe out for you.
Choke up on that mic.
Huh?
Just choke up on that mic a little bit. Okay, there you go.
Thank God.
Sorry.
Hey, so anyway. It looks like I'm in a barroom drinking a beer. Here you go. So I took Joe in the parking lot and I said, if you tell anybody this, you're lying. You're going to be my damn quarterback, boy. I got to go through a process. You come here, we're going to win a championship. So Joe goes back to Ohio, where his girlfriend was going to Cincinnati. His recruiting coach was at Cincinnati. Joe's going to Cincinnati, man. So Joe says he's not going to talk to anybody till Thursday. Now, wait a minute. Now, I wasn't good looking like this guy. You see this guy right here? Arkansas, they were jumping through his window, okay? They weren't jumping through mine. You know what I mean? I had to work at it, right? So, and Joe said he's not going to talk to nobody. I said, BS. But on the trip, I made friends with his brother. And his brother talked to Joe every day. And his brother's name is Dan. He lives in Houston. And I called Dan Monday morning. I said, Dan, where you want your brother to go to school? He goes, well, Coach, it's his choice. I said, BS, Dan. Are you kidding me? I said, Dan, let me ask you something. Where you want your brother to go to school? LSU, Coach, LSU, Coach. All right, now I know they got some ladies in the house, and I'm going to try to say this as polite as I can, but everybody has heard this before. I said, Dan, reach down there, son, see if you still got two of them. And squeeze hard. If you got two of them, you're going to call your brother, and you're going to tell him to come to LSU. Coach, I got him, Coach, I got him. So he was talking, I told Dad every day, Dad, come on, Dad, come on, I got him, Coach. He's going to come, Coach, he's going to come. And lo and behold, Thursday, I didn't expect him to call. Joe calls. He's coming to LSU, and boy, away we went, man. And that was a great story. Yeah, hey, David, pick it up a little bit, David. Pick it up. Pick it up. Choke it up a little bit, David.
Check. All right. I love it. Listen, we're going to do a tag team comedian deal here. Here we go. So, Coach, I got to ask you, your dream, you started, we didn't mention it, you started at LSU. That was the first place you wanted to play. You come full circle all these years. You win a national championship. You're on top of the world. And you're here with us today, and I have to say, is it bizarre? Is it?
It's the way it's supposed to be. I don't look back, man. And I got to say it, I don't blink. I live one day at a time, and I roll. You guys know it. And look, I'm so grateful of my time for LSU. That was my opportunity. Coaches got a shelf. Some coaches got 50 years. Some coaches got 12. Mine was 6. Good. I got to tell you, we had a meeting. They Coach, things are not going well. No shit, Ray Charles can see that, brother. And they were good. And Scott Woodward is a friend of mine today. Really, really, a lot of respect for the way they handled me.
So what's next?
Well, I got to tell you this, though. Say, Coach, you got $17.1 million on your contract. We're going to give it to you. I said, what time you want me to leave and what door you want me out of, brother? But they were very gracious. I worked out a deal, and I was able to finish the season with my team. That's what I wanted to do. And I told them I would not be there when another coach was going to be there. And as soon as I knew the other coach was going to be there, I left. And so we finished it well. Me and my girlfriend, we have a condominium on the 37th floor, Miami Beach, Florida. I wake up every morning and I thank God and look at the ocean. I look at her, I thank God twice. Say my prayers, go get me a workout, go jog to South Beach, go work out on Muscle Beach. I've always wanted to do that. I don't know why. I made friends with all those guys down there. I'm doing Pilates on the mat. Come back, we go out to dinner, and I thank the good Lord for my opportunity.
So you're enjoying life. You think coaching would be something you want to do again?
No question. But it's got to be the right thing. Right. I mean, LSU has been very, very good to me. I have a choice now whether I want to work or not work. But if it is the right situation, I'll definitely do it.
Wrapping things up, your time coaching against Arkansas, Sam Pittman. Talk about the Arkansas program now under him.
I told everybody the first meeting we had. First meeting that we had. Next time I come, I'm going to have to take microphone lessons on the way. Hey, Larry, could you provide that? And I want to thank you for that wonderful ride yesterday. And our friend Raul wants to know what's next, okay? Okay. What was the question?
Sam Pittman, Arkansas.
Say again?
Just your impression with Sam Pittman, obviously what
Wonderful coach. You guys got a great job. What a hand for Sam. Yeah, you got one. Come on, hand. You got a good coach. And when we had our first coaching meeting, coach, I knew of him. He's an offensive line coach. He came up to me. First thing he says, Coach, thank you. He says, you paved the way for us coaches that were just line coaches to become full-time coaches. I want to thank you. First-class guy. He comes thank me, and then he beats my ass, and then he gets me fired. Thanks.
And we'll close it on this, Coach. I mean, your coaching career is almost like John Gruden. I mean, you basically got out of college and you've been coaching. It's amazing the road you travel. But looking back at the Arkansas, isn't it interesting your time with Arkansas and what it meant? Just maybe some reflect on how God works in different ways to get you where you're going in your time in Arkansas and how that worked into it.
You know, Arkansas was a stepping stone for me. I mean, it enabled me to meet people in my business. And really, I use it to the end towards networking. Dean Weber, who's a friend of mine, we still talk. Coach Hatfield came up to me and had breakfast with me. I used to work out his ex-wife. George Williford's sisters here came to say hello, text me. And obviously he wanted to see a picture of Brandy, not me, that son of a gun. And but I got friends all over from Arkansas, and really when I come back here, look, hey, I like y'all so much. I married a girl from Arkansas. I mean, come on now. So, right. But and Kelly and I had 23 beautiful years together, beautiful family. So I love Arkansas. I love the people here, and I enjoy coming back.
And I'll close on this. Coach, I asked you, it was 8 years ago when you came. You didn't ask about money. You didn't ask about anything. You showed up, same thing here. Didn't ask about money, just said, I'm coming. I love what this club's doing, and we appreciate you.
Thank you. Well, I got to say one thing. The lady that fixed my baskets, man, that jelly and God, no. And the pickles and the okra. I woke up this morning, I said, Brandon, go get me that pickle and okra. I want to have that stuff for breakfast.
Everybody at Orgeron, everybody. Let's hear it for Ed. We'll do some pictures.
How about the microphone?
Oh, I'm sorry, man.
We got to give him these back. I think that's the most intimate interview I've ever seen. It was good. Thank you for doing that for us. You'll make her daddy's Christmas. Okay. We'll call next year. I'll try to call you first. Okay. Which one do you want to go to? Okay. Lee, I'll see you at Kroger Fresh Market. Oh well, yeah.